Hey folks, this is another video in a series that aspires to teach Google Apps Scripts DriveApp to beginners. In previous lessons, we explored how to access all the files in our Google Drive, how to access files from a folder, and how to access files from subfolders. We're going to resume by navigating to the Files module. We'll be creating a new script file. We'll be titling it d_access_file_move. We're going to rename our function so that it is called move capital F file. We'll save our project and begin on line 2. This lesson is going to focus on accessing a file by its ID using DriveApp, and then moving that file to a new folder. We're going to begin by hitting enter, adding 2 slashes for a comment, where we will access a file. So this is a single file that we will be accessing. We're going to hit enter and tab, and we're going to declare a variable called file. We're going to set it equal to DriveApp.getFileById, which will require open parentheses where we will pass a single argument that needs to be structured as a string. So that means we're going to need single quotes or double quotes. It doesn't matter, but you should remain uniform with whatever you've been using through your project to this point. So we're going to go to our drive and we are going to select a file. So I have this DriveApp organizer here. I'm going to double click on it. And I'm going to select its file ID from its URL. So all Google apps, whether it's Sheets, Docs, Decks, Drawings, Forms, whatever, has a identification number that comes after the \d portion of the URL. So you can see that the structure of this URL is docs.google.com/, and then you're going to get whatever file type it is. So in this case, it's a spreadsheet, so it says spreadsheets/d/ and then my identification number. So if you're using a document or a deck or whatever, the ID is always going to be in this placement. So you're going to copy that ID, and then we're going to go back to AppScript, and we'll paste it into the getFileById portion of our code. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard twice. We're going to add a semicolon. We're going to hit enter twice. We're going to hit the left arrow on our keyboard twice, and we're going to add 2 slashes for another comment. We are going to log it. I'm going to hit enter and tab, and we'll do logger.log, open parentheses, and then we're going to pass in that file variable. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard and add a semicolon, and then we're going to run our code. The result is you'll get the name of the file back. So that's great. We're confirming that we are accessing the correct file. We're going to resume on line 7. We're going to hit enter twice, left arrow on our keyboard twice, 2 slashes for another comment, and now we are going to define the destination. We're going to hit enter and tab, and we're going to declare a variable of folder, capital D, destination, so DEST for short, and we're going to set that equal to DriveApp.getFolderById. We're going to have an open parentheses. This also takes a single argument, which needs to be structured as a string, so we will add in another set of quotation marks, remembering to remain uniform with whatever we did throughout our project. So I'm going to go back to Drive now, and I am going to select this new folder here, which is empty. You can make a folder if you don't have one already, but then you're going to copy your folder ID, which, as you notice, it has the same structure or a similar structure to the spreadsheet, which is drive.google.com/drive/folders, and then the ID comes after the folders portion of the URL. We're going to copy it and paste it in between getFolderById inside of our quotation marks. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard twice. We're going to add a semicolon. We're going to hit enter twice, left arrow on our keyboard twice, 2 slashes for a comment, and now we will move the file to the destination. I'm going to hit enter, tab, and we'll use file dot. So file is coming from the variable that we declared on line 4, which is DriveApp.getFileById. So we're referencing that variable, and then we're going to use the moveTo method, which requires us to use an open parentheses. And then we need to have our destination structured using DriveApp.folder. So we need to identify the folder using DriveApp. So you can't just pass a folder ID into the moveTo method. You need to either type out DriveApp.getFolderById, or you can store it in a variable the way that we did here. So because we stored it in a variable, we can just type out folder dest, and then we can hit the right arrow on our keyboard and add a semicolon. I'm going to hit enter twice, 2 slashes for a comment, and now we're going to log this so that we have a little bit of transparency into what's happening here. Because if you just do file.moveTo, it'll just happen. It won't say you were successful. So we're going to add in that so that we can kind of see it for ourselves. So we're going to do logger.log, open parentheses, single quote, the file was successfully moved to, and then we're going to have semicolon, and we're going to add in a little space there. We're going to hit space. We're going to use the plus sign, and then we're going to do folder, capital D, DST, dot, get, capital N, name, open parentheses. We're going to hit the right arrow on our keyboard twice. We're going to use a semicolon. We're going to hit save, and then we are going to hit run. So we have to review our permissions because we are attempting to move things, or I think maybe it's because we're trying to get the file by ID here. So we're going to go to advanced, go to unsafe. So it's just saying that now we can see, edit, create, and delete all of your Google Drive files. We're going to hit allow. We're not actually doing that, but it's just saying this code has not been reviewed by Google, and it's opening up lots of possibilities. And now you can see that the file was successfully moved to, and then we have the new folder name. And when I go back there, you can see that DriveApp Organizer now exists in the new folder, and it no longer exists in our parent project folder.
I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to continue following along with this series, please check out the playlist linked in the description.